quick side note on the Tyrese injury. I mean, I agree with you. I would play as well, but I just put more onus on the training staffs, man, because we've seen this happen too many times.
Yeah,
Like we've seen this happen too many times. If I'm the doctor's training staffs, I'm telling them not to play. I'm telling them I'm ruling them out. I know you can't. It's hard to tell somebody that, but this is your job as a doctor. You gotta look towards the long term future of the player's health. So it's the same scenario. It's a calf strain, right?
it is. And see, the thing is, I'll say it like this. I think it goes on scenarios and situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, and it took me a second to understand it. Just like it took me a second to process it for a second. It's like the KD thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think weren't was it? I can't remember what the series was. It 2-1, 2-1 Toronto.
Yeah, I think Toronto was up 2-1.
So it's 2-1 Toronto and KD coming back, and they in
Mm-hmm.
Toronto. So it's like,
Yep.
oh man, it's done changed up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in a sense of like, okay, kind of like urgency, but boom, you brought him back too soon, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, I think because of the, like I said, the stage and where you were at, is Game 7. Let me backtrack it just a little bit. Not even Game 7. Like I said, I don't want to go too crazy into it. Game 6. The injury happened Game 5, or the strain happened in Game 5.
Yeah.
So now you question it. What you gonna do? Come back to Game 6. Has a great performance.
Mm-hmm.
Has an amazing performance. So it didn't happen that game. So if it would have happened, it would happen that game. Didn't happen. So we all
Usually, yeah.
like usually think that's what we thinking. And he was kind of chilling, but he was hooping though. And
Mm-hmm.
so he hooped. And now you're like, okay, all right. So maybe, not to say they let the training wheels off, but they were like, okay, let's see what he gonna do. And like I said, Game 7, because it was two ends of the spectrum where you could think of. If that training staff told him to sit now and they lose, he gonna have that in the depths of his mind as a what if for the rest of his life.
For
What if
sure.
I would have played? If like I know I'm gonna have the rest of my career or the rest of my time, but to be at that point in the mountaintop, going against that juggernaut of OKC and but you right there neck and neck with them, it's a little tough to think about it in that way because it's like, yo, like, what if? Because he's just gonna replay that in his mind. But now being in that space to where he was, I don't know what it would have happened. I feel like OKC probably would have still had it, but let's keep a spade. Indiana was up at halftime. And
Mm-hmm.
Indiana was starting to make a smooth little run for the fourth quarter. And then when you look at what the numbers were at the end of the game, I think they lost by like 10.
Yeah.
And Tyrese started to cook
Yeah. He started off
early.
hot.
I mean, I had never seen that before. I was like, yo, he cooking. And then that
Mm-hmm.
happened. And then so it's just like I said, not to deep dive into it. I definitely with you as far as like as far as like the staffing and the medical, because
Medical
I feel
team.
like in a lot of ways you can't let them off the hook. They got to really step up their game and really be attentive to the players because that's your job at the end of the day. You got to be attentive to your players. You got to, especially in this time, playoffs and everything like that, you got to cater to them as much as possible. It ain't about you. It's about them, because it's like if they win, then you win. So, but for sure, all day, every day, man, like I said, 100 tries on that, I would go in. Especially if you
Yeah.
cooking like that. You ain't even know. He could have went for 30, 40. And they would have got the game. So now he's just chilling. Like he said before, he said, I'm just chilling. I'm cooling. It sucks because now that whole team is gone. Whatever that was is gone. Like,
Yeah.
nah, like I don't even know what Indiana gonna be now. So
I mean, in reality, though, they only really lost. I mean, I know Tyrese is gone, but they only lost Miles Turner as well. Everybody else is still there. Pascal, the Nemhars, the Naismiths, whatever his name is. They still have all the ancillary pieces, but it's just 1 year.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I don't want to go too crazy. Like I went too crazy on my last play on the blast plate, but I just want to say, man, definitely shame on coaching. Shame on coaching for the Indiana Pacers, particularly what's his name? Um,
Carlisle,
what's that? Huh?
Rick Carlisle.
Carlisle. Yeah, particularly Carlisle, because I don't know what you're doing being in a game. What was it? Game 5? I think it was game 5, and
Mm-hmm.
you knew that happened to Tyrese. why didn't you play more minutes for McConnell?
Mm.
Why didn't you play more minutes for McConnell? And then that's one game that I tested coaching. Game 7, I tested coaching as well. Who the hell do you think you are playing your starters under 30 minutes, or at least 30 minutes, 32 minutes, and not playing the whole 48 minutes? That makes no sense to me. You need to empty out the whole clip. This is game 7. No punches held. Do what you got
Yeah,
to do.
there's no more games after this. That's
No
it.
more games after this. So that's just me, you know. But anyways, that's all I got. My fault.
That's all good. I definitely agree with you on those sentiments as well. But yeah, I think you mentioned John Collins. Speaking of John Collins, let's go ahead and talk about the Clippers. I would say them getting John Collins and getting Brooke Lopez as well. They lost Norman Powell. He went to you guys. But the additions of John Collins and I feel like JC finally. I know you said. I mean, I know we're not big fans of John Collins. He's not a great player, but he's still very productive. And he had a great year last year. You know, he put up like 19, I think, averaged like 8 rebounds, shot really well from three. So I feel like he brings a wrinkle to this Clippers team that they needed for a long time. Having like a power forward to go along with Zubac, you know, and then having Brook Lopez to play backup. Probably should have been a backup for years now, but actually having him on the bench and playing behind Zubac and stuff. Of course, you got Harden and you got Kawhi still, man. I like that move for them. How do you feel about this move for the Clips and your team as
Um,
well?
Yo, I'm trying to do the best I can. I really am. I'm trying the best I can to contain myself. I really am. I'm gonna start with the Clippers first. Let me start with the Clippers first. I feel like it was a good move for the Clippers. You know, to get Brooke Lopez first off the rip, to get him, because I'm not. You know, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from Brooke Lopez. Brooke Lopez is a solid player in this league, and he's changed his whole game since he's been able to shoot like
Completely.
that. I mean, just because as if you know, then you know. Like Brooke Lopez was
You know.
different. Yeah, he was different in Jersey. He was different in Jersey. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
different, but he changed
All
so
star.
fast. Changed so fast to his game, and so now he can stretch the floor and do whatever you want to do. You know, for however many years you want to do this. And being in that rotation along with Zubac, you know, Zubac, shout out to them getting that going. And I think that's a better pickup because I think they lost Plumlee, so that's a way better pickup for them to have Brooke
Mm-hmm.
Lopez right there to the mix. John Collins, um, yeah, that's a great pickup as well because to me, um, he's a great, you know, I feel like he's a great rim protector. In some cases, if he's not going against Ant, you know.
if it,
Um,
if he decides to play and has his motor turned on.
For sure, for sure. But I think the motor is going to go, you know, in the right direction for this team and for him. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and you know, let's keep it clear here. Let's keep it clear with the chat and the fans out there, man. The West is strong. The West is the strongest conference, obviously, and let's not get it twisted. The Clippers and the Nuggets went Game 7, so either team could have won, and the Nuggets just happened to win that game. But the Clippers could have did the same thing, went to Game 7 and go right to OKC. Who knows what the story would have been? It could have been the same thing outcome, but it's a little different, man. And especially when you got Kawhi playing like that. It's all about health at the end of the day. Kawhi was healthy at the right time, and my man's favorite player, James Harden. Uh, if he's going to continue to hoop like that, okay, cool. So and to have that out there and to be working in that way, cool. I'm with it. I'm for it. Um, but man, the steal though, the steal, all star. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. All star, Norman
He should have
Powell.
been for sure, but you know, Brian had to.
Brian to mess it up.
Yeah, Brian had to
Brian
be
had to mess it
Brian.
up.
You know,
Look,
take
man,
up that
Brian.
spot.
Oh my goodness. I'm not even tripping because he was a Clipper at that point. I would trip if he was with us, but I've never seen in my life in an all-star game where all the players they in jumpsuits, right? They doing their thing, they chilling, they like, but the one wants to be out there in street clothes. I'm like, if you don't put your jumpsuit on,
Yeah.
We paying you for this, man. This is an incentive for you to make an All-Star game.
But
Put
just
your
announce you were hurt earlier so somebody else can get the spot. You still get the nod.
It's insane, man. You still would have got it. So why are you pulling up for it? Not even playing, bro. Just man, let no one hoop, bro. But that's okay. He gonna get his All-Star nod this year though. This coming season, he definitely gonna. I'm calling it out because this was a steal, y'all.
Mhm.
Because man, whoo, he's going to be getting buckets. He was already getting buckets with the Clippers, because he had to
Mhm.
do what he had to do. And see, my thing is, this is just me personally, y'all. If you in the West and you getting buckets like that, oh, it's gonna be cakes, easy money in the East, y'all. And you know, I'm trying not to go too crazy right now, chat. I'm trying not to go too crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and step on a ledge right here and say this. Norman Powell is gonna be like the next version of James Harden. You know how he was on the bench, James Harden was on the bench, and he was like, oh, okay, he can hoop, and then when he got his own team, and he was like, not the man, but he was the man though, and then he was like, whoa, we didn't know he had this. It's gonna be like that with Norman Powell.
So you're
We gonna have
saying
it.
he's gonna
Oh,
be
go
the
ahead.
number one option over Tyler Hero now? He's taking over. Move aside,
We gonna
Tyler.
wait. I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna see what training camp look like. But
Move aside Bam. Well, Bam is he might be our best player overall, but he's not. He's definitely not the number one option on offense. He's the number two. Probably gonna be three now.
um, to everyone out there, I'm gonna let Fresh Prince say what he said. He's probably right, but to everyone out there, take the time to tune into the rundown because I'm gonna have a lot to say about what he just said. I'm gonna have a lot to say what he just said because this is not the place, this is not the time, and not the place. I have a lot to say about Bam Adebayo. I have a lot to say about Bam Adebayo. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna give training camp some time. We're gonna see. I think Norman might be the guy, but for sure, I'm so happy for him. If he finally gets an opportunity to really play, because he was playing third fiddle to those two guys, and he really wasn't getting a lot of shots. And we already know how the game of basketball works, especially in this league. You getting paid a particular type of money, you're gonna get them shots. It's not even about a flow of the game. That's a crazy thing that we're understanding now. I don't think people really recognize. It's like if you getting 125 mil, you getting all the shots. You getting all the shots. And then if the next thing is you getting 80 or 40, you getting the second amount of shots. Then the next person getting 20, you're gonna get the third amount of shots. And then when it goes, it's a pecking order from that point. So we obviously know that Norman was gonna get that money that he wanted, and then he wasn't gonna get them shots. So, like I said, shout out to Miami doing that. And
What did you guys give up in a trade though? I think it was a second rounder or something.
I think we gave. Oh man, that's what I'm saying. It's a steal, man. Steal. Gave up a second round pick and gave up. I hate to say it, but gave up Kevin Love. Gave up Kevin Love as well. I appreciate Kevin Love. I do. I appreciate Kevin Love. Kevin Love is such a great guy. He's cool and everything, man. And especially shout out to him being able to step out, talk about mental health and everything like that because it's big time. I get all that, but it is a business, though. It is a business. We all understand that. And K Love, he was not in a lot of these games, which I get. I understand it. I know, but we need to free up that roster. And we definitely freed it up in the right way. So, still got a lot of bad things to say about Pat Riley and his decision making, but I'll let it pass for right now. But it's okay. It's okay.
Shout out to Utah for having like 30 centers, by the way.
Man, I don't know what's going on with Utah, man. I'm sorry. I know we're not going to dive into it, but I don't know what's going on with Utah. I mean, it's crazy when Ace Bailey don't want to go hoop there.
Yeah, but he didn't want to go to a couple places. He didn't want to go to Philly either.
Yeah, he didn't want to go to Philly either. But talking about your character, man. Like I said, I haven't dived into that story at all, but you haven't even made it to this league, man. You shouldn't be talking like that ever. So
it backfire for sure.
Should be grateful and be thankful that you made it to this league and work your butt off to go where you want to go. If that's the case, instead of just don't ever do that. So I don't know. That's just me.
Perfect segue. Talking about working your butt off. The Lakers, man, my team. They ended up getting DeAndre Ayton, man. Somebody we would hope would start to somebody where you won't put work your butt off and his name in a sentence. You really don't see those two things, which I'm hoping. Me and a lot of Lakers fans hoping that's gonna change this year. But yeah, man, we got DeAndre Ayton, bro. What? I'm gonna let you go ahead and tackle this one first.
I I was trying to figure out where he was going with this chat. I really was. When he said work your butt off, thought he was gonna start talking about Luka, but
That's another one.
yeah.
That would have been better. But that I think that was been a low hanging fruit right there.
Yeah. So shout out definitely for sure. Shout out to the Lakers, man. DeAndre Ayton, 2-year, $16.6 million with a player option. Man, y'all got what y'all need. Y'all got what y'all wanted. Y'all got what y'all wanted. You got what you needed. I will say that. But man, I'm not saying this offseason is kind of mid for you guys because you guys lost Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah.
It would be different if you was able to keep that and
Had
get Ayton. It'd be different because it's like, okay, bet. So like then you put that onto the mix. Okay, cool, you good. But the fact of the matter is, you got a DeAndre Ayton, and then you came back. You got Jackson Hayes on a 1-year deal, which I don't know why. Like I don't know why you got Hayes, but it is what it is. But here's the one that really tripped me out. So you go free agency. It's time. Boom. Here we go. Let's do this. Jake LaRavia. What the heck is that on a 2-year, $12 million? What? I don't even know who that is, Chad. I'm sorry. I don't even know who
he played for Memphis. He was one of those people that got a little bit of run since everybody was hurt last year. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
You see how you just said that? He only got run because people were hurt. So we would never even know who this guy is. So like, who are you? Like, and why did you get picked up as soon as free agency started?
Yeah.
Like when I heard about this, like I wasn't really tapped into like that until I said later on, I had to go look at some things. I was like, he got picked up first. I'm like, who are you, bro? Like, I'm just like, all right, man, Lakers ain't being serious, to me. Lakers ain't being serious. So it's like, and that's why Bron, shout out to Bron, man. Shout out to all the players. I always preach, go get your money. Go get your money because you never know what can happen. That's exactly why Bron went ahead and opted into that 52.6. Exactly why Bron opted into that 52.6. Because if y'all did anything else, he would have been like, okay, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna make a cut. But he knew. He was like, man, I need that money. It's my money.
Let me go ahead and take it.
It's my money. So, that threw me for a loop. So, big shout out to the Lakers getting that big, but y'all definitely need to put some work on and a little bit of the wings to finish again because you gotta Luka's gonna be Luka. Luka's a great addition. Obviously, we know that the Lakers are not really putting this team around LeBron anymore. We know that. So it's like, how do you cater to Luka at this point? And how is Luka going to be to this team? How effective is he going to be? And we got to keep a spade. Luka is just not going to be that effective on a defensive end. So you just got to do your part as far as like surrounding him with players who are able to, combat that. And like I said, to me, when you guys lost to Dorian Finney-Smith, who was definitely hooping, like I think this league is all about staying in catch and shoot threes and being a 3D type of player. And that's what he was. So it's like, that's tough. So I don't know what you guys can go out to get at this point now. Because I know a lot of the big hitters are already gone, but I don't know. That's just how I look at it at this point. So